All right, guys, so it's the next day and we finally got our delivery and I'm very excited. And gosh, I just finished catching my breath bringing this stuff up the stairs. Two packages, one was 120 pounds and one was like 80 pounds, and very, very big packages. So yeah, we're gonna get to the unboxing here in a minute. Just want to show you the sheer size of these boxes. All right, so here you see is one of the boxes. This was the 120 pound box. Massive, absolutely massive. And then we have another box here. So these are our two boxes. I'm glad that they seem fairly structurally sound. There's a couple of spots where the tape ripped a little bit, but for the most part, it is packed like really, really well. I don't even know what to compare it to, but it's all stapled. It's all taped with the string tape, which adds rigidity, and I'm sure being that these are flat boxes, there's probably protective wood all the way around the boxes. So without further ado, we don't want to look at boxes, we want to look at what's inside. So pause for the cause. Box numero uno opened. All right. Very excited. I haven't even seen what the artwork looks like yet or any of that. So let's get at it here. Let me put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. Bubble wrap. Lots of cardboard. More cardboard. Top of the machine. Says top. Bottom of the machine. Says bottom. There's the tops and bottoms of the machine. Let's see what else we got in this box. These are, I'm assuming, the back panels. Very cool. All CNC machined. Very good looking product, very well made. Let's see what we got here. This looks like, ooh, the bezel. Oh, that's fantastic. Look at that. That looks absolutely stunning. That's the flex. What else we got here? Looks like could be the marquee plex. So there's a marquee plex. Ooh, the control panel. Very cool. There we go. There's this control panel. Very cool. All the cutouts are in the back. Just need to notch any and all of the overlay to add the buttons in. I got a 6-button cut, so I get 6 action buttons on each side. Administrative buttons, coin and start on both sides. But that looks absolutely amazing. This should be the bottom section of the control panel. Excuse me. This, I believe, is going to be the front of the machine. Should have a label on it somewhere indicating such. It doesn't. So I'm assuming that's the front of the machine. Just going to set this over here for now. So far, we're looking good. Not seeing any damage anywhere at all. And everything is nicely labeled as to where it goes and where it connects. So that's awesome. Got a bunch more doodads here. Doodads and whatnots. these are the side panels. That's the top. Yeah. That's the other side. Ugh. I'm falling all over myself over here. Very excited, very, very excited. Let's see what we got in here. These are called connector supports. I'm not quite sure where these are going to go yet. Here, speakers. It's a very good quality MDF, I'll tell you that. 3/4 MDF, really nice, not cheap garbage particle board. A close-up look at what we're looking at here. There we go. T-molding applied, pre-applied. All right, so that's pretty much it for box one. All right, so first box is undone. Got the sides looking really, really nice, and also got the marquee out of its packaging. Looks absolutely stunning. And we're on to box number two. I imagine this contains the monitor and some other doodads. So, and probably the bottom halves of the cabinet. It is a two-piece side. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this unboxed here real quick. I got some more stuff on that. Tell you what, they did a tremendous job packaging. Everything is intact. No, nothing seems to be broken. So as long as we got all the hardware that should be included, we would be in business. I've actually got some leftover cam locks and stuff like that from the Weecade or Barcade that I built a while ago. Well, to be precise, about 7 years ago. And so I think we should be good on hardware. I'm just happy that everything arrived in one piece. Nothing's cracked, nothing's broke, and just hopefully we got all the parts. So we've got the other panels here. I'll raise them up so you can see what they look like. That's the bottom. So the sides are split in two. I'm hoping this thing seams up pretty nicely because I was a little concerned when you matched them up you're going to see a seam, but they assured me that you would not see a seam. So I'm going to start assembly. I guess I'm going to start on the side panels, get those bolted together because I'm really curious to see what those are going to look like once they're bolted together. So pause for the cause. This is a monitor. It's a ViewSonic IPS monitor. More packing stuff. Bag of bolts. Here's the hardware. Big bag of bolts. Cam locks and all that good stuff are in there. Oh, nice. I wasn't expecting this. Some nice speaker grills. Boom boom. For the boom booms. Very cool. Let's see what all else we got in here. All right, got a couple more pieces. These are front connectors. That's what these are.
And looks like the bottom sides of the machine. Yep, these are the bottoms. And some more bits and pieces here. Let's see what else we got in here. The maze cabinet. The maze. I'm amazed with the maze. All right, so that's that. Let me pause for the cause. I'm going to get this box out of here.
All right, so on to the instructions. They do include a packing list, shipping contents, and instruction manual for assembly purposes. The first few pages are going to have your checklist. And it also included is a parts checklist. So I'm gonna go through and inventory everything, make sure all the parts are here before I get started. So, all right, so here we go. That's the right side of the machine. Time to start applying the cam lock screws. So I'm gonna go ahead and start doing that, and I'll resume once I'm done putting all those in. Alrighty, so I've got all my cam locks in place, and I just installed the speakers on the header board. The cabinet kit will come with, it'll come with some nice speaker grills. I have some speaker grills, but I think I'm gonna use these. These had a tendency for some reason or another to pop out every now and again. So I'm gonna use the ones they supplied, which are these here. And I'll get those screwed in on top of these, which should put me, oh, these are nice. They actually center themselves because they have a little lip, and this is cut out to accommodate that lip. So look at how nice that's gonna look. Boom. Perfect. All right, so I'm gonna pause and get these screwed in. All right, so I got those screwed in. It makes for a really nice, solid fit and finish. Okay, so now it's time to start cam locking all of the parts in place. As you can see, I got the speaker board mounted up with these two cam locks down at the bottom here. And now I'm gonna go ahead and put the marquee top on. All right, so the marquee top is installed. It gets one cam lock for that, and that kind of allows you to slide it forward and up, so that if you need to replace a bulb or get access to speakers for whatever reason, you can just slide that out of the way like that. Okay, so it's now time to unpack the monitor and get it mounted to its VESA mount, which is right here. It's an adjustable mount, and this is the monitor. So I am going to unbag this and get it laid out face down so I can attach it to the mounting bracket. Okay, so here we are so far. Got the mount for the monitor in place, and she's starting to come along. So I'm gonna keep plugging away and putting all these parts and pieces together. At least get one side built, and then the other side just goes on top. All right, so we're about an hour in, and this is where we're at so far. It's coming along. And basically, I mean, everything's put together with cam locks, so it's pretty basic, pretty straightforward, because everything's labeled. And you just connect the dots. There's CP front, CP bottom, CP bottom. So everything's pretty much labeled. You hardly need instructions for getting this all together, but it's coming along. So I just wanted to kind of pause for a second, show you where we're at so far. And that's about it. So I'm gonna pause this and go ahead and put some more together. All right, so we're finally getting somewhere. The cabinet is just about fully assembled. The only things that are not in right now are the monitor bezel, plex, the marquee, and of course, got to get everything wired. But here's how it's looking so far. Come around back here. I'll show you the inner workings and how it's all put together. There's a little spot down bottom for a fan, and your power outlet right there down at the bottom as well. So I'm thinking I might build a shelf right here in this section to put my computer. And then all that's left really, once it's all done, is the backing. And they supplied thumb screws for the backing, so that's pretty cool. That's easily removable without using any tools. But yeah, this is what it's looking like. Control panel flips open, so you can get everything installed. Of course, all these have to be cut out. The vinyl has to be cut out on the top, and then the buttons pop through, and then of course, got to get the control panel wired up. I was hoping to have do that outside of the machine, but I realized that you have to put this in ahead of time before you build the machine. Actually, it's got to be built with this in place, so I would have had to basically wire this whole thing before even starting assembly, because once you put the other side on, those cam locks basically need to be installed, and that's what keeps it on here and here, where you can pivot this thing forward and back. I made the mistake of trying to leave it out till last and then realized there was going to be no way to put that back in there. So I had to loosen up one whole side so I can pull it away just so I can get the control panel back in. But overall, I'm really happy with the quality. The only thing I'm not so happy about, and I might reach out to them about this, is that you're not supposed to see a seam here once this is all said and done. So it doesn't seem to be pulling together quite well here. So I'm not sure what can be done about that. I'm almost half tempted to lay some white paint inside of there to get that to seam up. And the other thing, well, that's about my biggest gripe. I mean, the Centipede logo is really nice. I'm not happy about the fact that this is cut off here. I wish that this could have been somewhat stretched a little bit so that the head ended up here where it's supposed to be. So I might reach out to them about these two items, and maybe they could just remake the vinyl for me, remake the side wraps for me, so I can get this looking like one machine. Because if this was a full piece of vinyl, that would certainly cover this seam here. It's supposed to pull together to look like a single pane, and I get it. You know, it'd be probably a lot more expensive to ship this whole panel as one piece, but not sure why to do it that way. I guess it's so that I can flat pack it. But this side, same deal. We've got a discernible seam there, and I will just have to reach out to them to see what can be done about it. I really wish that they didn't pre-apply the vinyl. I would have been more than happy to apply the vinyl after the fact, so that we'd have one continuous piece of vinyl going from top to bottom. Otherwise, I mean, it's not really all that discernible. I mean, if you look for it, you'll see it. Other than that, I'm getting psyched. The monitor is installed, and yeah. So I'm just gonna kind of put the Plex in place and get the monitor squared within the monitor bezel, and get the marquee in place, and see how that all looks. So yeah, I am starting on the control panel. I just cut some slits in the buttonholes, and I'm pushing the vinyl inward so I can fit the buttons. So I just wanted to give a little brief example how this is done. Took my razor knife, made a cross in the hole, just kind of pushed down from the middle, sliced one way and then sliced the other, and make kind of like pie shapes out of the buttonhole here, and just kind of push them in like that, and and you can slip your buttons right in there and tighten them from the bottom. Alright, so the control panel's all wired up. Got every list wired done. I'm waiting on 2 buttons. I'm actually waiting on 4 buttons. I'm waiting on player 1 coin, player 1 start, and player 2 coin and player 2 start. They're on a slow boat from China, I suppose. But I just put some temporary flipper buttons in for now. These are going to be white. Right now I just put those extra buttons that I got from the trackball spinner combo in place there. I just omitted the player 2 coin and start buttons for now. I just kind of plugged the holes with those. So the last thing I really got left to do with the control panel is put the bat tops on, and I'm going to play some games once I get done with that. And got everything else wired up. I got the power strip in place there. There's a power switch right here. I've yet to build a shelf, but there's going to be a shelf back here. The computer is down in here. You can hardly see it, but it is there, I promise. And I'm going to build a shelf so it comes up to about here so I can easily access the power button for the computer. So it'll be a 2-step process turning it on. First turning the power strip on, obviously, and then turning on the computer, which is going to be right here. Additionally, today I went ahead and, gosh, you can hardly see this. Let me get some light so we can see what I'm talking about here. I drilled a bunch of holes today, actually. I've drilled a hole for the USB extender, which is right here. Got 2 USB ports for either gaming controllers or send in light guns, hopefully down the line. And I plugged in my infrared receiver there for the remote control. And that's about it for tonight, man. It's late. I want to get this thing done. And yeah. So I will probably do some sort of a gameplay video tomorrow. So it's getting kind of late. Just wanted to kind of get this wrapped up, but she's in her place. I did speak to Game Room Solutions today, and they are going to print me out some new side art. They're going to move the centipede character up so that his head is right about here, and then there's going to be a centipede logo going across here. So they're going to reprint that art, and I'll just have to put it on myself. I didn't like the way the antennas got cut off there, and I don't like the seam. So I asked if they can leave like a 1/4 of an inch so I can overlay it into the seam when I take that panel off again. And this way I could wrap into the seam and it'll be a little less obvious. It's not too bad, but it bothers me. I see it. And one other thing I'm going to need to do is, as you can see, some light shining through the marquee or the control bezel or the monitor bezel. Doesn't fit quite right on one side and the other at the top. I know it's probably because the cabin is not perfectly square, so I'm gonna go ahead and take care of that as well, and that'll about do it for the build. So yeah, we'll be back tomorrow.